Hey folks, Quill18 here, bringing you another Heroes of Newerth commentary. This is my second ever game of Heroes of Newerth, and my second commentary for it. So the last one went pretty well-ish. I mean, I don't know how great I did exactly, but it felt okay, so I'm back with another game. Now, this game was played before I posted the first video, so I've gotten all sorts of really amazing advice as a result of the first video, and thank you guys so much for all those great tips, all the great feedback. Unfortunately, you won't see me put that into action in this game, because I hadn't read it yet. So I'm going to be pretty noobish. But I did do a tiny little bit of research. I found a list somewhere for Heroes of Newerth, a list of support heroes, and there was a note pointing out that Keeper of the Forest is a support hero, and apparently he's a pretty good one. So I said, excellent, I will pick another one of those. Again, I want to stick with the support heroes right now because I don't know. Again, the basic gameplay, I obviously know from my past experience with Dota and League of Legends. But because I don't know the champions, I don't want to play anyone who is going to be meant to be like a ganker or something like this, because I won't know like what guys on the other team have a stun, who's safe to engage, who's going to have a way to blink away or flash out of the action. All these things that, because I don't know, I don't want to play someone who's meant to be a ganker or an initiator. So it turns out this is actually a really bad pick for me. The Keeper of the Forest is bad for all kinds of reasons. Not a bad champion. He's apparently a great champion. Bad for a noob. So let's go through his list of abilities and talk about why this is a bad champion for a new player. I'm going to start with his ultimate, which is Root. Really amazing ability, actually. It's this huge AoE, like practically fills the screen, as I recall. Big AoE Root. I think it does damage over time. I'm not sure if it prevents attacks or silences or anything like that, but it's an amazing initiation power. Ideally, you get something like, I think it's called a portal key, which is an item that effectively lets you flash. I think it only lets you basically flash into action. I think it gets disabled if you take damage, but I may be remembering something else at this point. So you flash into combat, you root everyone as the initiator, and then your team comes in, you get a big fight, you win, and everyone is happy and awesome. Well, I'm not really going to know when to initiate properly because I don't have the experience in this game. So that's the reason number one is bad. Next ability, the E ability, Nature's Protection. This is actually super good. It is a brain-dead, super easy to use power that is excellent support. It's a long duration buff. It lasts for 40 seconds. You drop it on a player or yourself. So yeah, anyone on your team, any friendly. I think it came in towers and stuff like that. It covers them up in these awesome looking tree roots. It's a very cool graphic. And while it's on, they get bonus armor, and they actually regenerate health while it's on. It's not super health healing, but in the laning phase it's going to be quite nice because it'll reduce damage you take from harassment. And any harassment you do take might get healed up a little bit. So the cooldown's quite short, the mana cost is not that high, and so I found it very easy to keep it up on both myself and my laning partner pretty much full time. So that one was really good, really excellent. Now the W ability, which is actually the first ability I took, is called Tree Strike, and again, actually a really cool ability. It is something you cast on the trees, and you can actually see I've cast one. Right here. You cast it on a tree, it leaves an eyeball behind, and it gives you vision in that area. It is unlimited duration, free wards all over the map. You just drop them on trees. The only way to get rid of them is for people to destroy the tree somehow, which there are many ways to do it, but I don't think anyone destroyed a single tree of mine this game. So in these public games, clearly people don't really do that very well. I don't know if they can see the eyeball or not. I assume they can, but I'm not actually sure what their vision looks like. So yeah, really awesome. Very long cooldown, but I mean, I picked it right away, and I thought, I'm going to populate the map with these things, since they never die. But two things. One, I don't really know the map very well. So I tried to place this one. I was trying to hopefully give vision to wherever the wards spawn. Now, I'm not exactly sure, or the ruin. I'm not sure where the ruin spawns exactly, so that's problem number one. Also, I didn't realize the vision range was quite so short. I think I should have put it on this tree right here, because it would have given me range of the river, anyone crossing through, and there's the ruin! clearly this tree, now I know. Ruin spawns next to this tree. And I want to put the vision ward here, but it also tells me where to check in any other game. So I will note that for later. But then the problem is, beyond ruining the wards and keeping an eye on the river, I didn't really know the optimal spots to put things. Some people later pointed out that like really good things to ward are the various creep camps, the big creep camps. Did they call them ancients or something? I don't know. I warded this big guy, Kongor, at some point, because he seems like a pretty high value target for people to kill. And then much later in the game, I ventured to their side of the jungle, which I didn't feel comfortable doing for the longest time, but maybe with Camouflage, which I'll talk about in a second, I should have done that a little bit more, and warded their big minion camps, warded their shop, and for our team to get ganks, but not knowing the map or the flow of the game meant that I really did not use that power very effectively. And then my final ability, the Q ability, is Camouflage. A really cool ability. You cast it on, yourself or an ally, and you are stealthed. It's like 15 seconds per rank in the ability. Rank 4 is the max. Magnus is trying to initiate on me. There's a bloodlust going on. Now, this whole time, Arachna's been AFK. She was active a little bit, but even before we hit level 1, I think, she just came by the tower and just stood AFK. She's still in range for XP, so she's getting fed all this XP, which means I'm effectively solo laning against guys, but I'm not getting an XP bonus for it. So I felt that was kind of rude. Leaving it up to me, a single melee champion, to try to get last hits, to try to get denies, it made this phase really shitty. Anyway, so back to the Camouflage. So it's a decent duration, well, it's a fairly short duration, I guess, stealth, but it does let you do some sneaky moves, but only while you're close to a tree. And if I were any further than, say, about that far away from the tree here, that would be enough to break the invisibility. So you kind of have to hug the trees while you've got it. But it's kind of a cool move. Unfortunately, it comes down to, again, I won't really know when to use it, because you could use it to initiate, I suppose, but I've already talked about the reasons why I'm not an ideal initiator. You can also cast it. See, she's taking all this damage because she's just AFK. I'm trying to keep the Nature's Protection up on her, but God. Part of the reason I'm bitter is because this person was kind of cranky later on in the game, and I'm like, well, you're not a very good player to start off with, buddy. Yeah, so, I could drop the invisibility on other people who might be going in for a gank, but I'm still not at the point where I can read the gameplay very well. So I would not recommend Keeper of the Forest if you're a brand new player, but I have full belief that this is a really smoking powerful champion later on in the game. No doubt about it. Hey, Arachna's back! Finally. Only missed about 4 minutes of gameplay. Nothing major. Ooh, looks like we maybe got an engagement down here. A couple of us are initiating on the electrician. Swiftblade is going for it, and the electrician is going to be able to get away. So it looks like the Demented Shaman did use a snare, but it was not quite enough to get a kill off. That's too bad. It would have been nice. So, now, yeah, I've kind of finished talking about the character. I should talk about items soon here. Assuming they are no more ganking going on. It looks pretty passive. So my item choice, and people want to hear me talk about items a little bit more than last time. Unfortunately, oh, of course, the second I look away, someone dies. It's probably not a very important kill, but I sort of want to back up on principle. Looks like I'm semi-AFK now. I remember this. I was shopping. The problem is I'm so slow at shopping because I don't know where the items are. So I get behind the tower, I open the shop, I'm looking through the items, and then, boom, Arachna gets killed. I feel like such an idiot and a noob and whatever, but, I'm terrible at this game. So yeah, about these items. I picked up 4 minor totems, which I really don't know much about the game, but I did a little bit of reading. It seems like a popular thing to get a bunch of these at the start because they're really cheap. They're like 53 gold a piece. They give you +1 to every stat. Seems like a good way to get started. Looks like I missed a kill in the middle here, but we'll get to the action once it starts to become a little bit more action-packed. I'm going to keep talking about this. Yeah, so it gives you a good baseline of stats, a good amount of health, a good amount of mana, armor, and hopefully enough damage to get some more reliable last hits. I also got the Guardian Ring, which gives +2 armor, which doesn't seem particularly important, but what it does, and you can see what just happened here, it is one of the components required to build a Ring of the Teacher. So, and I want to get that because it seems like a pretty solid support item. So yeah. Now, the other problem is here, I'm mucking around with the Winged Courier a little bit because I bought a couple items and actually ran out of space. So I had to give up one of my minor totems for a Logger's Hatchet, and they're going to beat up Arachne here. That the Valkyrie decides to come in. She joins the combat. Is going to get a kill on Magnus. Meanwhile, the Arachne's trying to go away while I'm trying to beat on Myrmidon from behind. I'm not able to get a kill on him on time, which that sucks. But, and actually, we don't get a kill on him at all. I think the tower got the last hit. Damn it! That really sucks, because it would have been amazing to get that. So in League of Legends, if a tower or minion gets the kill on a champion, but you hit the champion within the last 10 seconds, I think, you will still get credit for the kill. That is not the case in Han, in Heroes of Newerth. You actually have to get the literal killing blow to get credit for it. It looks like I just used my camouflage here. I think it was hiding. There was too many people that I couldn't see, and I was worried that someone might be coming to kill me, but they're all accounted for here. Valkyrie's going to come in and maybe put a little bit of beats on the Puppet Master. Oh, wow, look at that! So sick, but the Puppet Master drops some sort of puppeting ability on him. Wow, leaps forward the Valkyrie. I don't know what kind of abilities the Valkyrie has, but she is obviously really good at ganking, because that was a sick amount of burst damage, plus a sick amount of chase. But here comes the Myrmidon doing an intercept, and the Weed Field? What's her ability called? Weed Field. Misses the Valkyrie, but oh, Magnus comes from the other side to initiate. They get a stun off. They've knocked her down to the ground. She does dodge away to dodge another Weed Field, but I think this is going to be the end of the Valkyrie, and there we go. That is too bad, and ends a killing streak, which means extra bonus money for them. There's a whole bunch of pinging going on up top, but I don't know who's doing the pinging and why. I think maybe they were warning that there could be possibility of things coming our way. So my tree sight just came off cooldown, so I dropped one right here just to be able to guard our flank. Again, I don't know if that's an ideal spot, although it gives us a little bit of vision of the river. And also, as I level up my tree sight, the vision radius will improve. It even improves on ones I've already placed, so that is good at least. So this should get better and better as the game goes on. So checking the bottom here, we've got the Electrician at half health. Malakin is pretty decent health. The Shaman's full health. The Swiftblade's taking some damage. We've got the occasional heal.